All right. Hey, TFD Supplies. I got to put my spectacles on. So my name is Jason Wright. I teach in Bismarck, North Dakota, and I'm currently a digital literacy teacher. Sixth grade at Horizon Middle School. Sorry, I got to keep putting my spectacles on. I said I'm in Bismarck, North Dakota. I've been teaching in Bismarck at the sixth grade level for 24 years. In fact, as of right now, today, I'm finishing my 24th year of teaching. Next year, I will have the same role as the sixth grade digital literacy teacher. I'm the only teacher that teaches this particular class in this middle school, and it's also a core subject, which means it's a required class. Question number 2, why did you start a career in education? Good question. So I suppose about 28 years ago, my plan and my goal was to work for the Fish and Wildlife Division of North Dakota. The outdoors is a really important part of my life. However, I met a young lady at that time who was moving to a different college, and I was in between thoughts and ideas. And because both my parents, many aunts and uncles and grandparents are also teachers, I ended up going into the teaching field myself, and that's how it began. Number 3, could have any other job, what would it be and why? Well, 25 years later, if I were to pick a different job today, it would probably have something to do with sales. I love figuring numbers, accounting, banking. So I think something in the sales field would probably be my first choice, working with people. I love being around people. Question number 4, how are kids different now than they were 30 years ago? You know, I get asked that question a lot. I'm not sure as far as the young people themselves are that much different. I think that the biggest difference is the way people and young people communicate. Instead of having to walk across the street to knock on the neighbor's door and ask if they want to come outside and do something, they are now able to text each other, and they communicate in a digital means. And I think for many adults, that's really, really hard for us to understand. We still think of meeting people outside or maybe in the neighborhood, walking around, shaking someone's hand. But young people today, they meet people in the digital world. So that is probably the biggest difference. How is teaching different now than it was 30 years ago? Well, we don't use books a whole lot anymore. Today, all of our students here in Bismarck, North Dakota, they have Chromebooks, they have iPads. Everything is online right now. So there isn't nearly as much paper pencil use. They still read books, some online, but they still actually have some physical books. Let's see, number 6, what would you tell someone right now that is thinking about becoming a teacher? 5 years ago, I might have said to those people, think hard about this and maybe think about doing something different. Now, most recently, I've been telling young people that I think this is the time to get into education because I think it is really starting to change more than it has in the past few years, and a lot of that has to do with phones, the digital means. And I think having some new teachers step into this world where those of us that have been teaching maybe for 10 to 20, 30 years, it's more difficult for us to accept some of those digital means. So I think now is the time to get into teaching. Number 7, what is one thing you would change to help kids learn better? Ooh, that's a really tough question. I think if I could possibly limit the amount of digital time after in the evening hours, I think that might help a little bit. And or if more teachers would understand that young people have the whole world right in their hands with a cell phone. And they have it all right there. They just don't know how to maybe take advantage of it the best that they possibly can. Whereas we bring them here to school and we put them inside a room with 4 walls. A great example of this would be like teaching a communications class where we're trying to get our students to present in front of 30 students, right? And let's just say a student is doing a talk or a discussion or presentation on lacrosse. Well, within a class of 30, nobody may really care about lacrosse. But that student who has a digital means out there using social networking abilities, you can connect and contact all kinds of young people their age who love lacrosse. So young people have an audience out there that is ginormous. It's worldwide. And I think if teachers could better understand and put that digital means to a better use, that might encourage students to enjoy coming to school a little bit more. So I'm not sure if that really answered your questions best, but I hope this helped TFD Supplies and anybody else that has the opportunity to look at this, because, hey, education is where a lot of the foundation starts.